Yo. It has been a while. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. It's a new year. It's a new time. Oh boy, I'm excited. I hope you are all excited as well because I've been quite excited for a bit. And hang on a sec. Honestly, I've just been mainly busy working and just doing as much as I can, busy with these sort of things, doing this and that here and there. But I've been missing content making, I've been missing wanting to make YouTube videos again and just enjoy myself, And I'm just happy that I can try to at least make another episode, Maybe try to make more videos as time goes on and enjoy myself, I love making YouTube videos and I enjoy making content, so I should try at least to do it as often as possible. Yeah. I think if you hear any noise in the background, either it's be the wind of fan or my PC running or something else. There's a bit of background noise. I hope it's not too much. Sorry, I just need to get a swig of water. Um, but yeah, I'm just hoping things are okay at the moment. But anyways, other than that, I've been doing pretty well, I'd say. Uh, I'm just doing what I can here and there. I've mainly just been working and doing as much as I can. Um, but I try my best here and there. I guess I'm not sure what exactly I would want to do at some point. Like what else I could do for the channel. Um, I guess just trying to like do new content, new stuff for the videos, and basically make new things is something I'd want to do. I think I'm just hoping that this year will be a lot better than last year, and that I'll be able to benefit a lot and just be a lot more better at content making. I guess. I think that's all I have to really say from what I can tell. Also, if you hear any noises in the background again, I'm also playing a game at the moment, so I might just be out of it for a little while. Um, I'm playing Need for Speed Heat, which is basically the like it actually used to be the most recent game in the franchise, but then we got Unbound, which I completely forgot about. I completely forgot that there was gonna be a new Need for Speed game at some point. It just completely slipped my mind, and I basically just forgot about it for a while and just spent my time just doing whatever. I'll see if I can get Unbound at some point because Unbound is one of those games that I think with Unbound it definitely looks like a really good game I'd want to get. It definitely looks like a next gen type of game that I definitely want to play. I definitely find some enjoyment in it and I think it looks very nice. So I'm definitely hoping that at some point I can be able to get into that. Um, but yeah. I hope I can just get into more stuff like that. Uh, I think the franchise itself has been in quite. It's been in an enigma, if I can make sense, because ever since Most Wanted, for the PlayStation 2, the franchise hasn't really been in a decent enough place. It's been all over the place here and there. Um, the handling of each game has not been very good, like the drifting for the cars, the overall race events. Payback is probably the worst one compared to Most Wanted 2015, and that's understandable because that game really just did not do much with the franchise as a whole, and it basically feels like an insult to it. As much as as much as people rag on Hayback, I don't. Hayback. Did I really just say? I meant Payback. As much as people rag on Payback, I think that Payback is a phenomenal game on its own, and I think that it deserves a lot more love than it uh, like a lot of people give. Cause I enjoyed it at least. Um, I'm not saying that it's like it's superior, but at the very least, I had some kind of enjoyment with it. Um, but it's good to know that the franchise is at least going in a pretty good direction in some way. I'm hoping one day that we end up getting like Need for Speed in Tokyo, because Need for Speed in Tokyo has been something that the fans have just like been wanting for a long while. And honestly, it's a cool concept to think about, because it's like what would make a good like what would make a good location where we can have all sorts of variety of cars, different events, and like plenty of mods and upgrades to do. And Japan would actually be a good place to start off with, and I think it would. I definitely think it's a good location overall. Like I would enjoy a Need for Speed game that was in Japan. Um, I definitely hope that at some point the franchise becomes a lot more like intriguing. Um, but with Unbound, it's at least a step in the right direction. I don't know if I wanna play Unbound yet, but I think I definitely want to give it a try at some point. Okay, I think a good like racing game in my opinion would be one that like strives to be like very unique in style and like very interesting. So it's like you have this game that's essentially focused on like really upgrading your car, making it the coolest car around, and like doing all of this to really like solidify it as like a very cool car overall, and like gaining a bunch of like rep and like really just climbing the ranks and taking down each like leader of like the speed gang or something like that. Because I personally think that like the franchise itself could benefit a lot. I think the art style of Unbound definitely is something that should be carried over to every single Need for Speed game, because it's a good art style that like definitely could stick around for a long while if given the time and effort to really make it something special. Actually, I'm not really sure what else I would want. Cause I'm not sure what else to say about like the rest of the franchise as a whole. Because I think I don't really have like a necessary like a favorite game. I guess Carbon would be my favorite, but that's because like the PlayStation 2 is like nostalgia for me. Like I enjoyed a lot of games on the PlayStation 2, mainly racing games, so that's why Need for Speed is like one of those franchises that I straight up enjoy, because of like how I've stuck with the franchise for so long since I was a kid. Honestly, I want to know what else is gonna happen at some point, like what they could do for the next game, like because I think EA at this point does not care that much about its franchises. I mean, if I've seen like remember seeing specifically. God, I am terrible at this race right now. I remember seeing a lot on like I guess on information about like Madden, like the Madden franchise, and like a lot of people just not really enjoying it that well. And that's something that I feel needs, like I feel like a franchise like that that's only like owned by one company, because like EA essentially owns the rights to the Madden name, so they can't like they are the only ones who can make like Madden games. And that's a trouble. That's troubling, because like when you have when you have a franchise like that, and you're the only ones who can make those games, it is your sole responsibility to make those games good, to always make them improve over the next. Honestly, EA's sports franchises have kind of just died down, and I think they genuinely need to like stop like making lazy games that clearly like need some inspiration. They need some like flavor to them to really make them special. Because I would absolutely love for the franchise to, for every like franchise in the sports series that they have to like be a lot better. Because they are genuine fans of these games, and all they do is just release the same lazy stuff each decade and add no interest to it whatsoever, making each game just a lazy cash grab that doesn't benefit off from like whatever people want. Just feels kind of wrong, you know. Like people like straight up say that they want the like good games from EA, but they won't bother saying anything. They won't bother making an effort to like really maximize on the capital because they have good franchises. The problem is that like they are just like wasting them and not utilizing them in a way that's like able to give them money. That's another thing I hate about companies. For some reason, like we can't have good things. Like we can't always have good media in our own times because apparently people just like the bigwigs at each company seem to always think that like, oh, because this is a good thing, we should cancel it after like the first season or two. Like it's a good franchise that could actually go somewhere, but yet you decide to go with the ones that don't really benefit at all. Like for example, Inside Job. Inside Job like was a very good and like really nice like animated series for Netflix. It was a nice adult animated series. Like Netflix actually had something that could be very beneficial and could really like get people interested and like purchase their service. But they decided to shoot themselves in the foot when they announced that they would be canceling that show and just not letting people like just deciding to cancel the series, even though it was a perfectly good series that could actually like make them money and like really allow them to benefit, you know. So I honestly don't understand why companies always have to have this mentality that getting rid of good things gives them is beneficial when it's not. Cause all it takes is effort. Like it's so strange how like they just forget that effort is like something that can really make a difference. Like they choose to just not bother with them and just choose to like be such a scummy company in overall its own status. Like come on guys. If you really want to like be beneficial and like really get more customers, appeal to their interests and also like let people enjoy things. Let people like get the like if people enjoy some things, then let them enjoy those things. Like it just doesn't make any sense at all. I think that's why I probably have like such a hate for the fact that they decide to just cancel some series. Because I like when I'm able to just have access to so many different things that are good instead of access to so many things that are bad. And the worst part is that streaming services are now gonna have ad systems. Sorry, give me a. Like I said, honestly, like it's just infuriating to see so many good franchises just get completely sidelined. So many good stuff that could have actually been like beneficial to the company get completely sidelined. It just makes no sense, honestly. And I only hope that like one day all of the franchises that have just been completely abandoned, like gets re-established, and like more people get to like play them, because I want these franchises to succeed, and I want more good content that people can enjoy instead of it just being more garbage that's just thrown out and like put in. Because there are like 6 seasons of Big Mouth, and but there's like barely anything on like other good shows. And even shows that like were really good, like Rick and Morty, end up just completely sidelining themselves and just going down on the deep end. Like it just does not make any sense. Like how come it's possible for like some franchises to like get like beneficial? Like it just doesn't make sense why some franchises that are just not that great
really
get to live for another season, but then you got others that just end up completely
talk to, and I can't really
being
talk for long
sidelined.
periods of time, or like raise my voice,
It
because
just doesn't
then
make
my
any
voice
sense.
just
And I
gets
think
strained.
that like we really
It's
need
hard.
to tell
It's
them
really
to
hard.
stop doing what they're doing.
Maybe it's because I want
it's
to make
not
sure that
helping
the audio is
anyone.
all good
No
and
one is
such, but
benefiting.
it can be quite straining. Yeah. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's gonna happen. Cause like
It just feels like at this point so many bad things are coming out that like good things aren't being made. Also, another thing I'd like to say, and this is something that's very important to know, please, please, to anyone who is actually listening to this episode, don't watch Velma. Don't give your time to Velma. You wanna know why? Because the reason why Velma got a great open day release is because people got so hated about it, saw the trailer and basically were like, we have to see what happens. And what happened? So many people who hated it watched it, and now people are probably going to end up just continuing to watch it because it's like, oh, I hate the show so much. They did this, this, and this. No, no, we don't need to do that. You want to know how we can completely sabotage the companies? If we don't watch their products, they won't make them. If their products don't get money, then they don't benefit and they'll cancel them. I think if we were to just not watch anything like Paradise PD, Big Mouth, or anything like that, then there would be nothing. You see, bad publicity is still publicity. People are still gonna hear about it, and people are gonna check it out and see that it's bad, then tell people about it and say that it's bad, and then other people are gonna watch it out of curiosity because it's bad, and the cycle continues until people have watched it, and now we have 13 seasons of Velma. You want to know why? Because we couldn't stop watching it, because we just decided that because of it being so bad that we had to see what was going on, like, that's when things went downhill. Like, you have to, like, really look into it. Because, like, even things like Riverdale have that same energy, where it's like you continue watching, and then you think to yourself, oh God, that's what happened. So yeah, I absolutely just don't think that people should give benefit to that. If you wanna really like be beneficial, I think watching the good shows, only good shows, is the best outcome. Because if we decide to just have hate boners and then just watch the bad franchises and then say that they're bad, it's gonna get people's curiosity. Like every reviewer that makes like a review that says it's bad is probably going to end up encouraging people to watch it out of instinct, because people think to themselves, wow, that reviewer really made a point, but I should see the show for myself.
just to see if it's worth watching. And then they end up going to, and then it just ends up growing, and more people just think to themselves that, like, why is it happening? Why is it growing? Why are people doing this and this? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh God, I'm just worried. I'm worried about what's gonna happen at some point. I wonder what's gonna happen, because I don't want to watch. I don't want animation to die, and I don't want like more bad animation to be put in. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I guess another thing that I'd probably say, I guess that's what the most recent thing I'd say. I think with a lot of game franchises and everything, um I think I definitely want there to be like more revitalization. But I think another thing that probably bothers me about it is that when people ask for a franchise to be revitalized, I think the developers also think to themselves that this is a benefit to them, because once the franchise is re-released and like it comes back, they end up not doing a good job as they did before. Like they kind of lessen the experience and make it so it just feels like, oh, this game is, oh, it's like the franchise I grew up with. Like this is amazing. Oh, and then like it all starts to settle in when you play the game that like it's not the same. It's not the same franchise. It's a sad thing. I genuinely just want like tons of franchises to succeed and become better things. I don't want it to just constantly be that there are so many franchises out there that end up just like making, like, they had incredible games in the past, but then they just completely die out. Like like Mario Strikers was great, but the new game just doesn't do it. In fact, all the Mario sports games and even Mario Party to an extent, like those games don't have the same flair as they did in the past. Like they don't have as much content, they don't have as much feeling to it. It just feels like they put those games on modern platforms but stripped away what made them great. And that's what makes me sad. I don't want that for my. I don't want that. I want the games to evolve. Like if you're gonna change them, make it a good change instead of one that just feels like you're lessening it. Cause even the final update for Mario Strikers came out, and it's not even that great. Like I just want good franchises. I want good content so I can enjoy. I want to be able to purchase these games and think to myself, yeah, that's a good purchase, and these games are fantastic. Like I don't want it to just be a consistent like, oh, we should just not have these sort of games. Like it just doesn't make much sense. I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I think that's all I got for today. I was hoping this episode to be more exciting and everything, but I think I've just basically been talking about the same BS that's been happening over and over. But I think if I were to leave some advice on this video, um, don't watch Velma. Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it at all. Like if you even have the thought of watching it, don't. Because then you're just fueling it, and I think it's best just not to watch it, because I think that's the reason why it even became like the top rated show on HBO for like a couple days. We caused this, and we need to stop them. That's all I got today. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, deuces. God, I did a better outro than what I just came up with, because honestly, I'm gonna be continuing to make these videos, and I need to like actually improve my efforts. See you guys. Bye bye.